Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today, sponsored by gayrealestate.com. And we are here in San Francisco. Actually, we're just outside of San Francisco now because it's a nice, wonderful Labor Day weekend. But we are here with Cory Allen. How are you, Cory?
Good morning. I am great. Happy Labor Day, and thank you so much for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been a big fan of yours and following you on social media for a while now, so I'm grateful this has worked out.
Well, it's mutual because part of the reason I even really wanted to have you on the show is that you're the author of a book, Breaking Free, which we'll talk about. But everywhere I was turning, I mean, you were amazing in terms of like how you really had your social media outreach and the fact that it really appeared that you were doing so much of that on your own. And I was like, wow, he's good.
Yeah, it up until this point, it has been 100% me. Outfront magazine and OutClick and Instinct, and that's just been through being tenacious with reaching out in my spreadsheet of who I've contacted and my hit list, as I call it. It's all been organically done. I've now actually hired a PR firm that's taken over now, effective this month, to
Okay.
hopefully take it national and just get the book into more hands where it's having impact for the LGBT community.
Well, your PR firm is going to hate me when I say this, but I don't think you need a PR firm. I think you're really good as you are.
But landing those big interviews with like Anderson Cooper, Robin Roberts, that next level.
I hear you. I think you're doing amazing. But the book itself, it's the title, A Saga of Self-Discovery by a Gay Secret Service Agent. I mean, that story, yeah, there you go. Unique unto itself. So but yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
I wrote the book in 2019. I had just moved to California from Washington, D.C. I was
Yeah.
trying to escape the Secret Service as it owned my life. And I was traveling, and I knew that I wanted to settle down again and have children and build a family and just get more in sync with myself personally,
Yeah.
and process everything that I had been through in the last 10 to 15 years at that point in my life. And so I just sat down and started writing. Hugely cathartic. I wrote it for me. And then the pandemic hit, and then sitting around, and we were at that point moved in together with my now fiance. And I just figured, well, I've got this project that I wrote. Why not try and do something with it and seek out an editor and just put it out there? As a lot of vulnerability involved, but I figured, okay, it's been hugely helpful for me. Maybe it'll help somebody else, and then that's just how it's grown.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. When I was reading some of the various interviews you've done and so forth, I realized that the book is deeply personal. And but then I also saw a quote that one of your takeaways that you really wanted folks to don't not to feel ashamed about who they really are. So it seems like you really had a good purpose in that.
Yeah, there's so much shame, both internally, that society puts on us because we are LGBTQ and we don't fit in the box that everybody tries to put us in at every turn in our lives, whether you're gay, straight, or race is involved. Society wants to put everybody in a box because it's neat, compartmentalized.
Yeah.
But that's just not how we are as humans. And so trying to overcome a lot of that shame um, is critical for all of us to be better
Yeah. No, I hear you.
individuals and truer to ourselves, I believe.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But no, it just it also you were really in the midst of a very conservative and environment, so you really knew what it was like to not only remain in the closet, but really keep a lid on folks knowing, understanding your personal life.
Yeah, I had to live two separate lives. I had to keep
Yeah.
the identities completely apart from being in the Air Force and falling for one of my classmates. And that's just before Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed. So I could have been kicked out of the military and dishonorable discharge, to being a police officer in a deeply Republican county, to then joining the Secret Service. And I could have been fired as well there for being gay,
Yeah.
up until 2013 Supreme Court decision, and in 2015 when gay marriage was legalized. I was then married to my spouse. And so at that point I was like, okay, they can't fire me anymore just for being gay, but it would still stymie my career.
Yeah.
And even when the book came out, I'm still processing, okay, how does headquarters view my book? Is this too personal for them? Too many details? Being in a very straight male dominated profession.
Yeah.
But it can still have negative impacts on my career to this day. And I just got to push forward and hope for the best.
I think you're doing well so far.
But
But What I did love is, here you were in the midst of all this, and especially at the beginning, living in Miami of all places. I mean, that's just like, that's crazy when you're trying to keep a lid on things because there's so much going on.
It was my coming out party, as I'll call it,
Yeah.
because I could keep work, and then we developed a group of friends who were all highly professional, and so we all had our jobs, but then on the weekends and nights, whether it was pool parties or, it's South Florida, so you're in the water at all times, and a lot of alcohol being consumed. But going on the South Beach, it was not likely that I was going to run into like my supervisor special agent in a gay bar.
Yeah.
So I was able to live those two lives very independently, but also like bask in the beautiful men of South Beach and like get wrapped up in all that. My coming out party.
Well, you didn't have to worry about running into them at 4 a.m. walking outside of Twist.
I did not, and I never did. Or them like tapping on the window of my car to like wake me up because we had to drive home, but we didn't want to DUI, so we were just,
Yep.
So you're right.
That's what Ubers are for.
Uber didn't exist back then. Not to date myself.
You're right. You're right. But no, what's really cool is, I mean, you've got some amazing stories in this book, but a big one is that for a big part of your career, you covered the Obamas.
Yeah, that was, we'll call it the highlight of my time there before I left. I was there for almost a decade. From 2016 to 2019, I was assigned to Barack and Michelle. 2 of those years I was with Michelle, like on her Becoming book tour. And so traveling the world and seeing the impact of her book, and she's filling stadiums and selling them out. And, we're traveling the world as she's having this amazing impact on people just by telling her story. And meeting the A-list celebrities and, Bruce Springsteen to Tom Hanks, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Paris. Like, it's a long list of people that are just in their hemisphere that I got to interact with just through the nature of my job and being there.
Yeah.
Just an amazing experience to see them as individuals, and they're such great human beings that are just great people. So I was honored that was the cap to my Secret Service career, if I'll call it that.
Yeah, no, it's nice to hear that. It comes across. We have to assume that what you're saying is, not what you're saying, but we've always assumed from what we see that that's true, and you're kind of confirming it in that sense. That I always felt. I think many of us felt they were really good people.
Yeah, I get that, and people do ask, and it's natural curiosity. Is, hey, this is what we think they're like. Is that what they're really like? And yes, they're just insanely intelligent, but down to earth and grounded. And the fact that they've been able to do that through everything that they've been through, which is, of course, nothing you or I could ever imagine, of the stresses and just their successes, is amazing. And be able to just be so personal and maintain them. Like, she is so fit, and we would go on 14-mile hikes through the Malibu hills and full cycling, and you have to be there and you have to be involved because we're protecting them. And they're able to balance all of that. Was just amazing. But also I got to work out for free and do all these amazing and I love fitness, so it was a great fit.
But no, even in the book, I know that you're touching on all sorts of including Cher. I wrote Anderson Cooper, Dan Savage. So I mean, you really did get to bump shoulders with quite a lot of folks. But like I said, you've incorporated some of that into the book as well.
Yeah, like Anderson was my fangirl moment, and Cher was close. We were in P-Town with Hillary during 2016 campaign. It was a gay event in P-Town, of course, and it was one of those very rare moments. And same with Anderson, where I was there for work, but my two identities crossed paths. And so I'm in P-Town. I'm surrounded by fellow gays, and I felt confident and like, okay, I belong here, and I'm here for work. And that never happened. And so just to be able to have that confidence of like, I do belong and I am meant to be here, the whole imposter syndrome that some of us deal with. Both of those moments stood out, and especially Anderson, just being the kind soul that he is, and his adorable giggle, but to pull me in close and like grab my waist and pulled me in for a hug, which cut me off. So I wasn't expecting that. But took time to actually talk to me. And again, those two paths are crossing, and that only occurred a few times in my really now 20-year career.
Nice. Well, do you have any, now that the book is out, do you have anything this fall or winter coming along? Book signings, pride festivals? Can people find you anywhere?
We've got a book signing coming up. I say we, it's me, at Fabulosa Books in Castro, on the 21st, which is leading into Folsom weekend. And then my PR firm actually have partnered with Jason Mraz's PR firm, because we keep crossing paths through our lives. So I'm excited to see what we're going to be doing with them leading into the fall as they build up the campaign that's kicking off now. They're doing the groundwork for that. Nice. So yeah, I've done a few book signings in the Bay Area, and right now I'm in Seattle. So we went to Elliott Books to get them to bring the book in store, and so I'll come back up to do a book signing here as well.
Yeah, Seattle would be a really good place for that. They've got some really good books. Yeah, they've got a lot of good stuff going on there. Well, this is amazing, and mostly I'm really just glad that you were able to take a few moments of your time and kind of share a bit of your story with our audience here, and look forward to seeing where all this goes.
Thank you, Matt, for taking time on Labor Day. I'm glad we both were able to work it out. But CoryAllenBooks.com, all my social media is linked through there. It's TikTok to Twitter to Instagram accounts, you name it. It's all on through there. I look forward to what lies ahead, and hopefully the broader impact this will have.
Sounds great. Well, thanks again. Great seeing you here.
Thanks, Matt.
So good, coming back again.